Hello everybody and welcome to Foundation. I am Solhom, the gamer who's bad at games but moderately functional. This is a city building simulator. Yeah, I'm keeping that in. Uh, it's similar to like your City Skylines 2. Yeah, what's that other one? There's Timberborn and a few other games such as that. You're basically, your entire goal in life is to make a prosperous society. Meanwhile, your villagers kind of, run around speaking Simlish and trying to cut down trees and stuff and complaining that they can't make it 2 doors away from where you are because there's a log in their way. This one was just released, I can't remember which day, but pretty recently, and I got turned onto it by watching Corrales from Hermitcraft. It looked like my kind of cup of tea, and almost everything is completely customizable and modular in the game. You'll kind of see what we're talking about. And I've decided I'm going to play it differently than me and the wife have been playing it pretty consistently since I picked it up. So I kind of have some idea of what I'm doing, but I'm going to be playing it differently than I ever have before. This is the wife's land, so we're not going to do that. I'm going to start a new game here. So similar to RimWorld, you're going to pick your, or Dwarf Fortress, you're going to pick your map to start with here. So I've screwed myself in the past by grabbing a land that had no water. You're going to want some water nearby. I might grab a coastal map for that reason. But also when you see all these lines, that's like different elevations, and sometimes it's a little hard to build on hills. These fluvial ones, these are kind of interesting, except sometimes they don't really show, but sometimes these are really deep cliffs that you can't build on. So it's like, it would be real nice to have a cool river, and you could probably get a really cool map going on. But if these are too steep, you can't build up them, so you gotta be careful with that. When Corrales was playing, he played on a coastal map, and he ended up striking gold with his map alone. I don't want to spend too much time on this. But I kind of want to pick something that looks workable to me. Randomize all. Oh, that last one would have been good. Oh well. Sure, we'll go with this one because I'm hoping we can get a settlement down in here. So we'll have that. We'll have that. We could maybe build some bridges across here down the line. And the hills look like they might be extreme, but there's at least some paths through them, so we might be able to get something cool going on. Now I'm going to turn on the show me how to play, because me and the wife have been playing without that on, but for the sake of the video and showing you guys what's up, I'll kind of show you through that. We're not going to dink with any of these because those either make it a lot easier or a lot harder. We're not going to really do that, and I'm going to stick with classic for now because I'm the gamer that's bad at games, so, we're going to struggle. Now, me and the wife, we've been playing with relax and play on my own, where you kind of set your own personal goals of just trying to basically create a prosperous town with a little bit of everything. And most playthroughs, from what I've seen, kind of end up leaning towards the prosperous town kind of aspect, even if, like, Corrales was playing with this one as well, and ended up kind of going into a bit of both of these. My current playthrough, I'm kind of building into the church a little bit, which is kind of interesting. But what I've never done is the military aspect as of yet. I don't even know if there's like combat in the game, anything like that. So that's what we're going to dive into. Experienced players who want to dive into the military side of the game. I'm not really experienced, but we're going to do it anyways. Dun dun dun. So for me to win, I'm never supposed to build a monastery, that's fine. Church is for scrubs anyways. Reach a population of 50 soldiers, combatants, whatever. Have 1,000 or more meters of fortified wall. Complete a military campaign. Host the king. And have kingdom splendor, which we'll get into, 500 or more. I'm figuring if I pick one of these three, it will make for a shorter video on YouTube. And then if you guys want to see me do another campaign with one of these two, you guys can let me know. But we're going to start by trying to do this. It's going to end up very poorly, but we're going to try. Now, first bit of customization that I'm going to get into. We got to make ourselves a nice flag that we like. I kind of like the Punky Bum. It looks a little bit more brutal. What kind of emblems do we like? That's another question. kind of like the keys personally, but I don't know if I like 3. 4 seems like too much. Just one big key in the middle might be what I go for. Primary emblem color. Well, keys are gold, and the outline of it could be black. I don't know what kind of design I should have for a D flag. See, I don't like. I like this much space on the bottom. There's not enough space on top for that. This seems to fit more or less in the center, so I might go with that. Let's go purple. No, I don't like that. We're gonna go black on the outside and purple on the inside. Yeah, that works. Now let's see. Village name is not that. It's... I don't know. Does that sound like a military outpost to you? Brackenwood? Wife says yes. Title, or name and title. Well, you start as a pioneer regardless. But I am Sol from Brackenwood. Let's see how this goes. Usually I take a little longer setting up, but for the sake of the video, figured you guys probably didn't want to see all of that. Alright. Look at all this. After a long journey through the realm, your people finally reach new lands. Your lands. Territories you can settle for reasons of your own. Your villagers await your command and are eager to offer advice on how to proceed should you require it. They're telling you they put the quests down at the bottom, which is cool. They want you to pan around the camera like every game always does. That's fine. Camera zoom. Yep, we know how to do that. And then pan the camera. Yep, panning camera. Cool. Alright, now, your first territory. Now, it's kind of like a Civilization game. You can use all of these lands, like anything that's in here you can use down the line. And, like, you're gonna want these, because these have mines built in. We'll get into that probably 5 episodes down the line or something. But the ones that you can claim at the start are ones that have a bit of everything that you could need. So any of these ones that you see glowing, those are the only ones that you can pick because they have bit of all of the resources that you could need. Be kind of cool to build my castle up on this hill, but I don't know about that yet. So you can also be very careful. I'm going to not click things, but you can use the village map with Control M. I've tried to pan with my mouse before and accidentally selected one of these and been stuck with what it gave me. So, careful not to do that. And as you can see, it costs to purchase territory, just not your first one. I'm thinking one of these ones because it has water, so we could get some fishing early, which gets us a lot of food early. Let's see here. So that'd be one of these ones. We'll have a look at those in a minute, because I don't think there's anything closer to coastal. Yeah, you can't build on these. I think you can bridge across them potentially, but I'm not positive. You can build on these beaches, but I think your dudes have to run up and down the sides there. So we got to be careful of that. Which means I'm probably not... It'd be kind of cool to have a castle along the edge of the cliff too, but I'm probably not going to start there. I think I'm going to go for... Honestly, I think this one. There's a decent amount. I'll probably have to expand pretty early. This one gives me more buildable area, but... yeah, screw it. We're going with that one. Alright. We've picked it. Most actions, like placing new buildings or expanding your territory, are in the action module at the bottom. So down here. Easy enough. Village center. You can move this later. But I don't know. I'm thinking because we're going to be expanding, I've kind of already decided I want to build a castle up around here. Since we're building that way anyways, I'm going to build the resource depot way closer to the edge of the map than I ever normally would. Usually want to build it kind of central. Villager wants to speak to you. Alright, talk to me. Second piece of advice comes from a young, enterprising villager. Rather than letting everyone fend for themselves, she suggests that you organize laborers into appropriate workplaces. builders in workshops, woodcutters in lumber camps, berry gatherers into huts, and so on. Right, so they're like, build us a building camp. And I'm like, okay, how about I do? So first things first, you can rotate just about anything that you put down. You see the little white arrow that's kind of under my cursor right now. That's where your villagers enter and exit the building. Some buildings have multiple areas where they can enter and exit. Some have just one. So you just gotta I usually angle those towards roads. But you'll see very shortly your villagers are famous for making what are called desire paths on Reddit, where basically you could build the fanciest roads in the world and they will arbitrarily decide that, you know what, they would prefer to cut across the lawn. We're going to go right there and we're going to put down, yeah, click on the plus to assign the nearest villager. Yeah, we're going to just get 2. And then they want a lumber camp, which, you know what, we'll put that. So you can't build outside your own territory, but nobody says that we can't build right up against the edge of the territory. Ha ha! Go like that. Now we should see our villagers. Yeah. So you see that there's this little grayish path where they just trod down the grass. If they keep running over that, and they will, eventually that'll turn into a road, which is kind of neat. Now these dudes are going to use, like, right now our resources are all kind of being pooled over here, so they're going to have to run back and forth to build that. But that's kind of a not me problem. I'm going to build a couple woodcutters because we're going to need them. And right now we have a population of 10, 6 of them are unemployed, and their happiness doesn't matter because they're peasants. And I am Elon Musk. That's not true. I'm much more respectable. Anyways, so we just gotta wait for them to. Right now, it says they're bringing 2 tools. That's all they really need is tools to build a lumber camp. I don't know what the lifting capacity is of villagers, but whatever. I'm gonna speed this up a bit. My brain works a little faster than the game does. And then our woodcutters should run over there in just a sec. Oh yeah, they need us to tell them where they can paint or where they can cut wood from. Eventually I'm going to probably get rid of this, but anything north of that path they've been working on, they can cut that for now. So we'll go like that. They can cut from there. Now they want me to build a forester camp, which I honestly, again, you can see where their road is. I'm just going to build the forester camp right there. And then once they have the forester, I'm going to just tell them to replant everything that I just told them to cut. I'm actually going to increase the wood cutting just a little bit there. I thought I had this area up here too, but that is not the case. I'm going to change the brush here as well. I'm going to tell them to square that off. Look at me being all artistic and anal because I got to wait for them to build anyways. Hooray, anal. Anyways. Alright, so get me 1 forester. Doo-doo, what do you want? Yeah, you gotta... So, some buildings you need to use a very specific... Give them a very specific area to function in. In this case, I wish there was a button where you could say, use woodcutting area or something, so that they would literally just build, like, replant the same area that you just told them that they could cut. But, there we go. So the forester is just going to keep planting shit all up in there, and that's fine by me. Alright, foresting camp done. Now what do you want? You want me to gather berries. Okay. Berry gathering can be over here, because there's a lot of berry bushes right by my quote-unquote city center right now, so... Eventually I'm going to want like a market or something here, so I'm going to build it a little ways away from there. You just got to be careful not to squish your berry plants, because... stuff like berries don't come back. Trees do come back, so... There's a spot right between 2 berry bushes here. That seems pretty perfect to me, so we're going to do that. Even though that's a little closer to the market than I'd want to, I can move this later. That's another thing, is in this game, nothing you place is technically permanent, so don't worry too much about that. I'm going to just get a tab out for a sec, turn myself down, because I seem to be peeking just a little bit. Don't want to murder you guys' ears and delicate sensibilities. Da, da, da. Get me some villagers making berries. We need to eat. And now this one isn't going to actually trigger until these guys produce berries, which they just did, because why wouldn't they? They're directly next to it. What do you want? Now that you've organized your laborers, you can tend to their needs and happiness. Who cares about their happiness? Make sure they have access to fresh water and housing. As for food, you'll first need people to store and distribute the berries they collected. From there, your village will have everything needed to get its first wave of immigrants. And then they're telling me how to paint housing. We know how to paint housing. Right now, we really don't have... Well, I guess we do have space, because I've already said that we're going to use all this space. Now, you can increase or decrease the size of your brushes here. Your villagers, if you just paint an area, kind of like I did for woodcutting, your villagers will build at odd angles. They'll build on top of each other. Anything like that. And I hate it. So, I like to use these squares, because then they're kind of like... you guys can read that one. I'll leave it for a sec. Anyways, as you can see, they're already building a house there, but they'll only go within that square. So I'm going to similarly just kind of stamp down these, and dudes can build how they want to within their square. And hopefully they'll end up with a path along the water line, or even on top of the houses is fine by me. But we're not going to take out that stone deposit, because we're going to need that in a minute. Hey look, stonecutter camp. It's almost like I was just talking about that a second ago. Ha ha! I don't care about that tree, so I'll just put the camp right on top of a tree. And a well. We'll put the well... I don't care if the well is in the middle of the market, because that kind of makes sense to me, is that a well kind of is central, in a sense. So we'll do that as well. Housing insufficient. Well, build faster than dorks. Jesus. Gotta do everything for these guys. It's almost like they think I'm their king or something. I don't know where else I can really stamp one. I guess I already said I was going to take out this area. I don't want a resource removal of that, though, so I'll just put down a couple stamps in here. They could do what they're going to do with that. Build around the trees or what have you. But at least they'll shut up about housing for a minute. Somebody building this? Yeah, we're just waiting for stone. Which I'm going to need stone cutters here in a sec. Hurry up! It's like you're working for free or something. Jeez. Give me a couple miners. Problem with those guys, they're never allowed in my taverns. Haha. See, alright. This is part of the issue, is these guys literally built a path through a dude's house. So eventually they're going to have to either go around it, or this guy's just going to have people in his yard all day, and an old man Krabby Stein is going to be all like, "Get off my lawn, you damn miners!" I could say old man Krabby Stein. What's the name of the person that actually lives there? Oh, Lord. Of course I pick a guy with an impronounceable name. Glowy? What does that accent do? I don't know. And what's your name? Oradina. This is another thing, guys, is, I hate this guy's name. So, let's go... Because of our viewers, right? Chizakura. I probably pronounced or spelled that wrong. But there you go. You're a forester now, Cheesy. Good job. You've been upgraded. I'm only going to be naming employed villagers, though, because, I don't want to be suggesting that any of you are unemployed. And then we only have female miners, so I can't... Oh, no, this guy, Nori. You're not a subscriber, but you still count. You can be big country, because you like to work with your hands and strength and such. But yeah, anyways, I'm not going to keep doing that right now, but I can literally rename all of them. I can even go Forester Camp, more like Cheesy Charlie's Treehouse. There you go. Cheesy Charlie's Treehouse. That's the Forester's Camp. I'm smart like that. But anyways, building the well. Yay, we have a well. Some buildings, such as the market, have multiple parts and can be customized. We'll get that. Where they literally want us to do it now, but I'll kind of show you what they mean by that. So, they want me to build a market stall. Boop. So make sure that it's approachable from the front. I'm going to put that one right next to the well. Let's get all micromanagey over here. Whoops. That should be fine. And then we can snap a top right onto it. I don't know why this one's blue. It's supposed to be white, but that's fine. So we'll go build. But then if later on I need another stall, then I can go in here and I can add another stall. But we're not doing that right now. We only need one for the berries right now. That's all it's asking for. We have one unemployed person. I wonder what job they're going to have. Also, just because you have people employed now doesn't mean they have to stay that way. Like, if we decide, oh, we don't actually need this many woodcutters right now, I can unemploy them and move them over. Look at my cute little village. It's all in, like, one line. I just want to point out, though, that, like, I could tell right now, yep, it is a sperm. Yep. Anyways. I'm so good at games. So this guy's got too many berries now. That's... you know, because they're right next to all of the berry supplies. So they're not going to be doing anything because their storage, their internal storage is full. Once this is built, which is going to take a minute because it's a little far from the everything that I'm working on. Once that's built, then they can at least, like, give everybody the berries within the market. So, market tender, and you're giving them berries. So now people have access to berries. So, if ever my villagers are complaining, hey, they don't have access to rustic food, then that means there's nobody selling it or it's not available to them. But when it's on a market stall, it means the villagers are able to go and get it. They don't just pull stuff out of storage like that. They have to get it from a market stall. It's a little bit annoying, but it works. Build a village market that has a market stall. Yeah, so as soon as this guy's done building them, that one should clear up. I try to keep my videos to around a half hour. This one might be a little bit. Brackenwood's now a village with Lord and Lady Soul. Raise the happiness of the village. Yeah, I'm working on it. You can move stuff after it's done building. Yes, I got that. I know that they don't know that I know that, but I know that. And I know that, and you know I know that. And I know that you know that I know that. Anyways. Yeah, so these guys are just building up my stone. Do I have anything else I can build right now? No, I just basically gotta wait for people to get happy. They're only happy because I'm not taxing them yet. But it's coming. And I think... I don't know if I'll be able to actually, like, buy all of the land to get to my... where I want to put the castle here, but we'll have to see. I don't know what the progression system or anything looks like, because when it's free progression, like me and the wife play, you have access to everything. So I don't know if I'll even have access to the basic stuff, or just basic stuff plus the kingdom stuff, or if I do have access to all of it, but it only the kingdom stuff actually matters. I don't know. We all get to see. So my happiness is going up. They're mad that they don't have refined food, but it's like, yeah, you're peasants. You don't get refined food until I'm ready to give it to you. They're okay with the housing right now. Well, they weren't okay because there wasn't housing, but now that there is housing, then they're okay. So they're... yeah, housing isn't a problem anymore. Rustic food, now that they have access to it, is fine. But they're all going to be a little bit cranky that we don't have, like, bread or meat yet. Alright, so we've done that one. Now what do you want? A business-minded villager proposes creating a trade route with your closest neighbor, Northbury, to sell resources for profit and obtain items that can't be produced locally. They need planks, so you should start with those. Alright. Some buildings not available at the start of the game, you need to unlock them in progression screen. This is what I was talking about. So, just in case it's not available there, I'll show you on here. The common path, I'm sure we have available either way. Labor is for if you're doing the prosperous burg thing, and the clergy is for if you're building a monastery, but I don't know if I'm going to have just the common path in the kingdom or if I'm going to be able to do all of them. So we'll have to see. And now they want me to build a sawmill. which is fine. I don't have people available to do sawing of mills as of yet, but who knows? How do I want this to sit? You know what, I'm gonna go like that. They can build that, and then I'm just hoping that I get some immigration. So yeah, common path stuff. I'm also going to unlock fishing pretty quick, and storage I'm going to need pretty quick, because the storage and the granary I'm probably going to have pretty close to the central market, so that stuff is all pretty central. Village fence I don't really use too much, but I could if I decided to get pretty with it. And right now we have no need for bridges, but these two are pretty important. We'll get those. I'll build that because I'm sure they wanted me to. Yeah, acquire storage, build a warehouse, and put planks in the warehouse. Yeah. And look, immigrants. Where did they even come from? I didn't see where they came from. Because they'll all, like, everybody will always come from the same area on the map, but I didn't see where these guys came from. So, yay, new villagers, and they immediately go to the berry stand. You mooches. So, hang on. This is my wood cutting forest, so I'm going to want to build things over more this side. Maybe. See, this is where the lack of building space is going to be biting me in the booty hole in a direct fashion. We're going to build it here, because they can plant forest around it. That's fine. Now we have somebody building planks, which works for me. And where is warehouse? Warehouse is also going to be an issue. But all of our resources are kind of over here, so I might have the warehouse just kind of over here. This works for me. It's close enough. Close enough to the central point. And if people are coming through here anyways, then traders will stop in the warehouse, and then they'll come to the granary and keep going on their way. See, so there's some immigrants coming from all the way over there. And eventually this will turn into a road as well. I was just curious to see. You can kind of faintly see a line where they run. So that's interesting. Kind of interesting to see, because I'll eventually, when we're fortifying things, I'll want to have like a main gate there. But that's kind of convenient that I actually built the warehouse there, because then the traders will come directly to the warehouse. That's neat. Now that we have extra people, though, I'll get an extra sawmill person. Technical terms, you know, sawmill person. And I'll put a transporter there. I'll put a transporter there. So transporters just go and get stuff from the farmers, etc., and put them into the storage that you built. This guy's waiting for planks, which is fine. This guy's still making planks, so we knew that was going to take a sec. And this one, they're just waiting for wood. So once that's built, I'll tell them, look, store berries. That's all. That's the only food we have right now, so store berries. You can have 2 inventory slots of berries, because they'll only put 100 things per inventory slot. So if you only have 1 inventory slot with a food in it, then they'll put 100 in there, and then they'll stop. So I was like, you know what, we only have berries right now. You can have a little more berries in there. It'll be fine. Do. Waiting for planks. Do. Planks for the memories. What is going on with this path? People are like, I don't know which way I want to go. So what it is people that are going to this house are going one side, and people that are going into this house are going in the other way, because this dude built his house backwards. People are great. Hey, you can literally zoom in on any of these guys and watch them work if you want to. And they have the same soulless expression on their face that I do when I'm working, so it's pretty true to form. Look, more immigrants. You get more immigrants so long as your people are happy. It's like they're telling their friends, hey, you should move in here. Be purposeless peasants like us. Hey, you. Get planks, get wood. You have now I have access to the royal book. Yeah, cool. Bow, bow, bow. Royal book. Brackenwood, the village. And, yeah, never build a monastery. Cool, we're never building one. These are edicts and stuff. Gotta unlock those later. Trade routes. So we need 20 planks for Northbury to unlock trade with Northbury. And other than that, we're never going to be able to get Kingston Abbey because we only get the clergy stuff if we have a monastery. But we should eventually get a trade route with Castle Arbor because that's Kingdom. We'll get into that in a bit. Actually, I could kind of go. I can't go into it right now because that's still locked. Housing insufficient. Yeah, well, your wife told me that you're insufficient in bed. Haha. Anyway. I'm trying to decide where I'm going to expand to next as soon as they give me permission. Right now I have no place to really add more houses. Put one right there, I guess. See if people will actually... Yep, people are building there. It's amazing because later on in the ones that I had, the other lands that I have created, I've been doing the stamp method, and so eventually people are like, yeah, there's insufficient housing. They just refusing to actually build houses where they're supposed to. I hope this is recording right, because I'm looking at my OBS, and it's kind of like, the audio bars are laggy, but like the video seems to be running pretty good. So I'm hoping I'm not scrapping a recording here, but we'll have to see. So yeah, these houses only have like 2 people each. Eventually we'll get medium density housing and we'll be able to get like 6 people per house. So that won't be an issue. Got 13 planks. Come on, 7 more planks. I have unemployed people, I guess. I could technically boop and boop. Hey, look, more people. Eventually our merchants will be coming down that same line. But as you can see, we have some pretty clearly defined roads now. Not where I would put them if I was designing, but, you know, if you want a little more micromanaging control, then you're better off playing a different game. This is kind of a passive, hey, I need to build this thing up, so you just kind of set the game to run and you go and eat brownies or something. Assuming you have brownies. I have a pretzel. Bam! Now we have a trade route. But now I need to go into the resources and say, okay, fine, you can sell planks, but only sell planks if we have more than 10. I'll change that number later. You've made great strides recently. A light-hearted woman recognized your progress and thanks you on behalf of her folks for your hard work. To help manage your vision in a village and enact new mandates, she suggests building a manor house with a great hall. But I need a new territory first. Alright. So yes, we need a new territory and we definitely need space to build houses. So I'm thinking we'll start with this one because I can build the manor house up here and have houses just kind of like down at the base of the hill. That might be good to start with. Because otherwise I would be building this one. And I don't know if that's really what we want to do. So I think we're going to start with this one here. Monuments represent the greatness for your village. They're an assemblage of multiple buildings called sub-buildings, each with its own function. First step to make a monument is to choose the initial sub-building you wish to add. Design it as you would with a multi-part village. Don't worry about deciding which sub-building to build first. You can add as many as you want and edit them afterwards. What it doesn't say there is that they don't even need to be connected. I'm pausing for a sec. So, just for example, because I'm obviously not going to go ahead and like lay it all out or whatever, but if I made this my Great Hall, and I made another sub-building for tax office, which you can do later, your tax office could be way the hell over here. It doesn't matter. They don't actually have to be connected unless they're part of the same building. Then they have to be connected. So don't worry too much about that. We are gonna go... Oh, they're gonna want me to unlock it, huh? Yeah, okay, so we do have all of it, but we're gonna not touch clergy ever because we're not building a monastery ever. But we're gonna need this at some point. Which I guess we're not doing just yet, because I thought the castle was gonna, like, replace the manor house, but looks like we're gonna use the manor house, and then the castle is more of, like, a training grounds. So we will worry about that later. But for now, we need that. And that will be good for that. Alright, build a manor house. Yeah, we're working on it. And it needs a great hall first. So we're gonna start with that. I like a, you know, reasonable sized great hall personally. But all these parts can be technically put on it. We don't even have decorations yet. So right now, this is what counts as decorations. It's over here. Boop. Now, because I want to be fancy, I'm going to take this simple passageway. Because I like people running through stuff if I can. Kind of makes it a little more, like, lively in a sense. I'm going to put it directly over this path that the villagers are already running. Now, you can also increase the height, which I'm going to do slightly. And we're going to make the roof... I'm going to go with a blue roof. So that's going to be part of the Great Hall, though. So that means that we're going to need to actually connect part of the Great Hall to it. Now, this isn't exactly, like, up on the hill like I wanted, but eventually we'll probably sprawl across with a few other things. Don't forget to change the roof color on that. And it tells you over here what you still need for the Great Hall. You need a meeting spot, and you need an interior access. So, yeah, people are just using this as a pathway. That's fine. Eventually, I'll probably have another house down here or something. Maybe a tax office or what have you. And we want a tower because who doesn't want a tower? Where do I want the tower, though? Do I want it to stick up out the middle of the building or off its side? I'm kind of thinking off to the side. Do I want it on a corner? I think kind of just there should be fine, because again, you can keep building through here regardless. Changing the height doesn't actually change too much how much, like, that it requires, like, yeah, between those two heights, it doesn't mean anything extra, but if I make it too much taller, then it'll create extra, I think. Regardless, that's probably high enough for that. Make sure to put weather vane on top of the tower, because visual interest. Now we need a doorway for people to get in. I'm thinking... Let's see here. I'm okay with that. Did I change the... Whoops. I changed the roof color on that? I did. Alright, and then we need a meeting spot. So anybody that has any important business will come straight to my door to talk to me about it. So that has everything for the Great Hall. And they want me to sell tools. But trust me, don't sell tools. That'll be good for now. But you'll need tools eventually, and if you go and sell them all, you're not going to have nothing. But I'm going to spend some 50 gold to make an edict. I'm going to end this episode soon here, but if you go in here, you got these edicts and privileges. Privileges you only get from being with certain factions. Obviously, we're never going to be factioned with the clergy because we're not allowed to be. But these two, these will give us extra privileges. The edicts are just kind of generalized privileges. So I like careful planning first. In fact, there's a quest that's going to tell us to pick that up. So I'm going to probably wait to do that until the quest shows up. But refunding 50% of tools after the constructing a building part is massive, because that means you're not burning through your tools quite as quickly. But some of these aren't as good as others. We'll work on looking at those later. But that it's going to tell us to pick that one up anyways. So we'll wait a minute on that. As one of my cats tries to eat a candle. Yeah, I'm talking about you. Squarehead cat. Get another villager. We're at a population of almost 20 already. Woo! And they're complaining about housing. Alright, well, it's one of the reasons why we picked up the area that we did is so that we can just kind of have some hillside housing over here. Try to make sure everybody has some adequate space to live in. Plus, it's going to make for very scenic area. Go with that for now. Should be enough to shut them up. I think, is this somebody's house that they're putting there? Are they thinking about it? This one definitely is. They're building my house in the middle of my street. And eventually I'll get a camera mode where I can take better pictures and stuff. But right now I gotta try to remember hopefully this doesn't stop you guys seeing what you're doing, but still recording, I hope. But I'm just trying to look at hotkeys because I have a screenshot button hotkeyed. I just can't remember what the hotkey is. Looks like my screenshot is num plus. So let's hope that that works. Num plus. Pow! There. I might have a screenshot now. Otherwise, I'll just take a still image from the video. Or since it's the first episode, I'll just use some, like, generic pictures off the internet. Look at my little gatehouse is done already. Now people gotta walk through my house. Watch them walk around because they hate me. What you bet? Bet they're gonna walk around the house. Are you gonna walk through it? Are you gonna walk through it? Are you gonna walk it? Good, good, good. Good people. I appreciate you. Listen to instructions and stuff. I think I'm going to end the episode here, guys, but I'll let them finish this off camera so that when you guys come back, this will all be done, because they got to run all these resources to the building to build it. So I'll let them just do that off camera, and when we come back next episode, they will have built that. I won't do anything else without you guys. I will see you then. Bye!